Hi, and welcome to As Told by Canadian Immigrants. I'm Christina.
And I'm Michael.
And today we are going to answer one of your questions. Now, we always encourage you to leave comments in the comment section below on YouTube, and we will go do our best to answer as many questions as we can. So today we have selected a question that came through in the last couple of days, and we want to answer that question. Now, if your question goes unanswered, or if we don't get back to you as quickly as you would like to be responded to, please join us in our summit, which is going to happen next week. Is it next week? Next week, starting next week, Wednesday to Sunday, we have a 4-day information-packed summit that will likely answer your question if you don't get your question answered in the next couple of days. Register for the summit. The link is in the description below, and we are going to flip over to the question of the day. So here's our question of the day. I have a question. Okay. As a visitor to Canada, is it advisable to use recruitment agencies to get a job? This is a good question, especially considering, what's hot in the media right now, visitor to worker program. And you probably seen my video, mine and Michael's video on talking about what you must do before showing up in Canada as a visitor. So this question is very relevant to that. Michael has a couple of some insights on that question. I'll hand over to you.
Yes. Okay. Well, the first thing you have to keep in mind is it has nothing to do with your visitor status, because if it's the right thing to do in your particular situation, and I would say in most situations, it actually is a good idea to work with recruitment agencies, you should start working with them before coming to Canada. So it's not related at all to you using a visitor to worker visa or not. This is something that is, relevant to the job search in general. Now, there are quite a few benefits if you work with recruitment agencies. The first one is they are on your side in a way, to some extent, because this is their way to make money. So they want to place as many candidates as possible, because they get paid. Usually they get paid by placing a candidate successfully, and only then. So you don't have to worry about them not being interested in you. If they see value in you, in your profile, they will they will have an intrinsic motivation to actually help you, because it will help them. So this is good. And therefore, it's working with recruitment agencies is good for giving you feedback on your market value. So if you contact them and they say, oh, this is really interesting, and oh, you have this and that, and the resume looks great, you are in good shape, because they don't want to waste their time. If they recognize that they are not likely to place you, or you don't have a big chance, they probably will not be as excited. So this is a good way of getting feedback without burning like a good position because you applied for it in the wrong way or whatever. So they will be honest. They will, to some extent. Well, they will be honest in terms of your market value and your chances. So that is good. You always have to be careful. But in general, you can, I would say, the feedback you get from them is worth something. You have to be careful with them, because people working for these recruitment agencies, they are salespeople. They sell both ways. They sell a shitty job to you, and they sell mediocre candidates to their clients, because this is a difficult market. The money is not on the street, so they are under pressure. So they will be, the good thing is they will be honest in terms of your market value, and they will drop you if they think that is, they are not going to make it. That shouldn't stop you, because that you can still make it, but it's a signal in terms of the difficulties you are going to face. you have to be careful with the recruitment agencies because if they have a job that is not that great, there are some issues with that. For example, the companies, the company has a high turnover, no one stays because it's just a unpleasant place. They're not likely to tell you. So in terms of what they sell to you, you've got to be careful.
Yeah.
But then you can rely on having someone who will go to the limits in terms of giving praise or telling good things about your profile to the potential companies as much as possible. So they really go to the limit. So yes. they must not go beyond the certain limit, then it would be otherwise they would be in trouble. But they go to the limit. So they will say nice things about you that you would have never dreamt of using to describe yourself. They will. So therefore, it can be very beneficial in terms of the feedback and also in terms of getting through to potential employers, as they know the companies, they know the job market, they know the industry and so on. So yes, it is normally a good idea to have this option in the portfolio of your particular job search. It should not be the only option, as I said, because there's no reason to limit yourself to that. Mm-hmm. And it should not stop you if they are reluctant, because they are all specialized. So the fact that someone is not interested in you does not mean your market value is low. It's just that they believe they cannot help you. So you shouldn't be too encouraging. Take it as a signal, but it's maybe a limited signal just referring to what this particular company does. So the important thing is to research the market of the recruitment agencies. Yeah. Find out,
interview them,
which of them, interview them and do some research on who the good ones are. Mm-hmm. Good ones, of course, not only in general, but also relevant to your particular situation.
And
you do this by, obviously some internet research or search, Google search, but also ideally by networking. So ask others who have used them, or if you are more advanced in terms of their job search, who to work with, because there are some bad players as well. So you've got to be careful. But in general, it is a good idea, and you need to you over time you should establish quality over quantity. So you shouldn't work with 100 recruitment agencies, because most of them will probably not be right for you and not very good or whatever. So over time, you should find a handful that is really suitable and keep a close connection with them, update them, take advice from them, apply the advice to your approach. And then this can be a helpful element of your overall job search. And the good thing is, you can do this kind of networking communication with the recruitment agencies from wherever you are in the world. So do not start or do not wait until you're in Canada. The moment you come to Canada,
then you get a
recruitment. You should be ready, basically, unless you happen to be there for other reasons, that's fine.
Yeah.
But you should not come to Canada for work-related reasons if you have not lined up the first job interviews already. So this visa is good for making it easy to go to job interviews, and only for that, basically. Or if you're there for other reasons, then it's a good option to convert. Mm-hmm. But if this is not the case, if you're not there for other reasons that are not related to your job search, then you should not leave your home country before you have figured out all the other things. So and that's basically most of the stuff that is doing.
And usually recruiters will work for you for free. You're not paying a recruiter, right? When they get put you in a job position, the employer is paying them. So if that's something that you're concerned about, then you can attach yourself to recruitment agencies without worrying about cost necessarily. And it's important to note that the visitor to worker program, you must have a visitor's visa on the day you apply for the job. Okay. So yes, you should do your research and all the work that you can do before coming to Canada. Make sure you have your visa so that you show that you have valid status, whether you're inside of Canada or not, but whether you have valid status before you apply for the job and actually have an interview. So even if you do like a virtual interview or something like that, make sure you have like a visitor visa or some way to track that when you are given this job position or applied, you had valid status in Canada. That's the first line in terms of eligibility for this program. Okay. And the agencies, the recruitment agencies are going to know you as a visitor or an immigrant to Canada. They're going to know the employers that are either LMIA exempt or LMIA approved, or they're going to have suggestions or something to point you in the right direction, because it's not typical recruitment compared to like somebody who is in Canada or somebody who has valid status inside of Canada. Okay. So I think, yeah, like Michael said, I think it's a good idea. And what we can do inside our club is to, because not all recruitment agencies are made equally, is to help you to point you in the right direction as to which recruitment agency or anything like that will help you to do that, because we don't have a list. The list is not limited, nor is it like just quickly available, because then it's relative to a person's individual situation. Speaking of club,
and yes, let me add to something to it that I haven't said. I talked about the market value in the eyes of the recruitment agencies. Now, this is not the market value you have or you could have. This is just the market value they see. And where do they see that? They see it in your resume. Recruitment agencies usually do not care about cover letters at all. Forget about the cover letter. If you connect with the recruitment agencies, the first thing they will ask you is send your resume. And nothing will happen until you have done that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they will make the first and maybe fundamental decision to keep communicating with you, finding out more about your background, having usually a phone or video interview to get the information they need to sell you to the clients. But they will not do this if they do not see value in your profile right from the beginning. That means it's not a good idea to show up with a lousy resume, hoping that they will help you fix it.
Mm-hmm.
No, if you provide them with a bad resume, they will think you are not a candidate that they will be successful with, and will just tell you that. So in this case, you would get the wrong answer, well, right and wrong, right in terms of what they know, and wrong in terms of your true potential, because you didn't let them know. So that means part of the successful work with recruitment agencies, headhunters, anyone like that, basically is similar to a direct job application. You need to have a convincing resume, and most people don't. So before you approach them, make sure that the document is 100% ready and 100% persuasive. And the way to create such a document is by using our resume course, which is free for all the members of the club. And we will not let you be alone with the thing and figuring it out all by yourself. No, you can use the course to make progress, improving your document. And then there will be webinars where we can talk about the specific issues you have. So for 90%, you'll be fine with the course. But then the last 10% where you're not sure how to fix it or how to deal with certain issues, there will be the webinars where you can present your current state of the document and get advice on how to further improve it and get feedback. So if you go through this process, then you will end up with a document that is truly convincing and then you're good to go both for the direct job applications with employers and also for the contact with recruitment agencies. So this is a prerequisite. It's not a good idea, either or, to get busy until you have a resume that really sells. And this is one of the reasons. There are two reasons why people fail with their job searches. One is a lack of focus, and the other thing is a bad resume. And if you have a bad resume, you can apply 1,000 times, and you will have not, or more often, without having a chance. So getting busy without having the right document is not a good idea. So join the club, and we'll be there for you. The resume course is waiting. It's free. And the webinars are free as well. So you just need to join the club, and off you go.
And we know that both Michael and I think you attested to it last week on Friday, that you don't like working on your resume. I don't like working on a resume. Nobody likes working on their resume. But this visitor to worker program, or any program, or this job search thing, should not be taken lightly, right? It's not just show up and a job will appear. You'll leap and the net will appear. No, do the work, put the work in. It will be worth it. And you'll have like a well-written document to use no matter where you are. Because
yeah, I'm sorry. Go on.
That's okay. Once you get to Canada, like getting a job, whether you're a visitor or whatever, getting a job is the same no matter where you go.
I know. I just wanted to add that the way we have structured the whole thing is really to make it as easy as possible.
Yes, and so
because the question is why people hate working on the document is because it's not that because the work is so difficult or so unpleasant. It's mainly because they don't know what to write. They simply do not know what to do. They know they need a resume, okay, but how do you actually create that? And so then, of course, it becomes a pain, because if you're supposed to do something that you don't know how to do, well, then this is no fun.
Yeah.
So the way we have structured is basically incorporates this problem and provides a solution to it. So you work in small steps. So you do this and this and this, and each of the steps is doable and can be done in a rather short amount of time. The time adds up, but it will not feel like it. And you see how your document grows, and especially how the quality in it grows.
Yes.
So yes, there are things that are more fun than writing your resume, but there is the first reward before you get the job is that it will boost your self-confidence, because if you write a great resume, it will show actually how much you have that you were not able to see before.
Yes.
So and that gives you a boost of confidence, and of course it provides you with exactly the right arguments that you need to present in a job interview and doing networking and so on. So it's really worth it putting the time in and
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And before you drop into Canada as a visitor, do all this work up front as best as you can. So if you like this video, please click the like button, thumbs up, share it with somebody who you think this may be valuable to. Subscribe, stick around, because we have more great videos coming up, and register for the summit. Right? This question is a question that is specific to this particular situation, but there's so much more around the entire immigration process that you're going to need to be briefed on, and the summit will do that for you. So it's a free 4-day summit next week, Wednesday to Saturday, and we have a bunch of speakers, a bunch of immigrants sharing their stories. And if you need when you need your one-on-one help and to go through your resume, join the Canadian Dreamers Club. Everything is in the description below. See you there, and see you in the next video.
See you.